Welcome to Bodyweight. In today's workout, our instructor is going to be taking you through a low intensity, all body approach that is really designed to tone and strengthen. All of our workouts are perfect for different ages, different stages. For example, I'm in my third trimester and I'll be doing some of the necessary modifications in a few of these videos. So do take part if you are pre or postnatal. The equipment you're going to need is on the next slide, but absolutely not necessary. So feel free to take a bodyweight approach. Feeling motivated? Let's go.
So we'll come straight in, starting that warm-up, coming in for those shoulder rolls. We're going to roll the shoulders right back, squeezing the shoulder blades as we pull back. Good, deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Good, rolling them right around. Good, deep breaths in, deep breaths out, and we're going to come back the opposite direction. So, good, deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. And now we're going to switch, coming in for those arm circles, reaching right up as much as you can, spreading out the fingers. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice, nice. And so we're going to come back down and changing directions back the opposite way. Deep breaths in and out, opening right up as much as you can. 2 more times. 1 and 2. Good, bring the hands back onto the hips. We're going to come in for that second position, plie. Staying up as tall as we can. We're going to plie it down and up. Deep breaths in and out. So good, deep breaths in and out. Squeezing the glutes as we come up and pushing through those heels. Staying as tall as we can, keeping that tailbone tucked under. 2 more for 1 and 2. We're going to continue with the plies, but bringing in some upper back. Extending the arms straight in front, we're going to plie down and back row. Good. Squeezing the shoulder blades as we pull back each time. Deep breaths in and out. So good, staying as tall as we can and really activating those back muscles. 3 more. 1, 2, and final one for 3. We're going to come back in for some butt kicks, and we're going to step, getting that heart rate up as much as we can. So good, deep breaths in and out. So good, nice, good, keeping that speed nice and high. Final few for 2 and 1. We're going to switch, coming in for some high knees. So good, nice, tall posture, bringing that knee up as high as you can. So good, keep controlling that breathing. Good, we're in those final few seconds, and then we're going to be finishing off the warm-up in 3, 2, and 1. Good, nice. So we're going to come in for that first circuit, and we're going to need a chair for this. So placing that chair, we're going to be coming in, and we're going to be starting with some pulses, and we're going to come down to that plie in 3, 2, 1. We're going to come plie 2 pulse. And up, staying as tall as we can. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. So good. Squeezing the glutes, coming as low as we can as we pulse. So good. Deep breaths in and out. So good. Nice. Keeping that chest nice and lifted. Shoulder blades nice and pull back. Pushing through that firmer in those final few seconds. So good. 1 more time for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. We're going to place our hands onto the chair this time, and we're going to come down, and we're going to lift the heels, drop the heels, and up. Coming down, lift the heels, drop, and up. So good. Squeezing up with those calf muscles as we come up onto the toes. Feeling that burn. That's it. Good. Deep breaths in and out. Good. Keep pushing through. We're doing good. So nice. And up. Good. We're in those final few seconds. We're nearly there, getting all you've got for these final ones. Good. 1 more time. Lift and drop. We're going to come in for that split squat. Left foot in front, right foot behind, and we're going to split squat down in 2 and 1. We're going to come up and down. Focus on dropping that back knee and pushing up through that front heel each time. Deep breaths in and out. Keeping that nice tall posture and keeping the shoulder blades pulled back. Good. Deep breaths in and out. We're in those final few seconds. Pushing through these final few for 3, 2, and 1. Coming back into center, we're going to place our hands on the chair. Bringing our right foot back, and we're going to come into for some leg lifts and some pulses. We're going to lean slightly forward, pointing that back to one pulse for 1, 2, 3, and down and back up. 1, 2, 3, and down. Making sure we're lifting just with that glute as we come up. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. Good, nice. Small pulses, but nice and quick. Lifting with that glute, using the pressure onto that chair. Deep breaths in and out. 2 and 1. We're back into center, and we're going to come out to the side, keeping that hand on the chair. We're now coming out to the side. 3 pulses. 1, 2, 3, and down. And again, pointing that toe as much as we can, keeping that nice tall posture. So good. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. Pushing through the burn again. Focus on lifting with that glute as we pull up. Good. 3 pulse and down. Good, nice. Final time for 1, 2, and 3. Good, nice. And slow. We're going to come on to the other side, moving that chair across. And the exact same again, switching sides. Coming down, and we're going to lunge in 2 and 1, keeping it nice and tall. Deep breaths in and out. So good, nice. And again, focus on dropping that back knee each time as we come down. Good, deep breaths in and out. Getting as low as you can, whatever's comfortable for you. We've got 3, 2, and 1. We're back into center. We're coming in for those leg raises. Bringing that leg back, pushing all the pressure into the chair, and we're pulsing in 1, 2, 3, and down. Good, lifting with that glute, keeping that toe pointed as much as we can. Deep breaths in and out. So good. Keeping that connection to the glutes as we lift. Nice quick pulses, and nice and controlled. Good, we're in those final few seconds for 3, 2, and final 1. Good, nice. Keeping that hand on the chair, we're going to come out to the side. Pointing, and 3 pulses to the side for 1, 2, 3, and down. Again, that's it, good. Same side, lifting up as much as you can. Good, deep breaths in and out. We're lifting up that glute, staying up nice and tall, keeping the core nice and engaged. If you feel like it's starting to get too much, relax that foot as we lift instead of pointing. Good, final few, one more time for 3, 2, and 1. Good, nice. Taking that rest, and that is our legs done. We can move the chair out of the way, and we're going to be coming in for some upper body next. For the upper body again, all just body weight. We're going to start with some knee bends. Slowly bending the knees, and we're going to focus on pushing the hips back and start to warm up that upper body before we come in. And we've got 2 and 1. We're going to raise and bend. Deep breaths in and out. Focusing on pushing the hips right back as much as we can. Good. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Good, nice. And extending right up. Remember to spread out the fingers and pushing the hips to that wall behind. 3 more. For 1, 2, and final 1 for 3. We're going to come in for that second position here, slightly turning those feet out, and like we've done in the warm-up, coming in for those back rows as well. Hands in front. We've got 3, 2, 1, and we're going to play and roll. Squeezing the shoulder blades, activating those back muscles. If you have some light weights, you can add in for those upper body if you need to, make it that little bit harder. If not, stick like me, keep it body weight. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. We're doing good, keeping up that tempo, making sure our heart rate stays raised the whole time and our body stays warm. Good, deep breaths in and out. We're coming in for those final few seconds. Back is nearly finished. Give me 2 more. 1 and 2. We're coming back into center. This time bringing our feet into that first position. Heels will be touching, toes will be slightly out. Bring your hands right out to the side. We're going to draw clockwise circles with both arms, keeping them parallel to the ground. Deep breaths in and out. Good, keep visualizing those circles and pushing through that burn as we make the circles. Keeping up nice and tall, keeping the spine nice and tall and nice and long. Deep breaths in and out. Good. Final few seconds, we're going to change directions. In 2, 1, we're back the opposite way. Good. Deep breaths in and out. Good. Visualizing that circle as we come around. The burn is hitting in, push through, we're nearly there. Deep breaths in and out. Good. Keep picturing that circle as we come around. Good. Nice. Keeping that control. We're nearly there. We're in those final few seconds and we get to take that quick rest. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. We've got 3, 2, 1, dropping down. Giving the shoulders a quick roll out, bringing the feet into parallel, and our hands are going to come back in. Let's finish off the shoulders. Palms up towards the ceiling, and we're going to pulse. Imagine you've got 2 balls in your hands. You don't want to drop those balls, keep pulsing. Deep breaths in, deep breath out. The small movements are killer, but push it through, all worth it. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Good, we're nearly there. Keep it going. We're in those final few seconds. Keep up nice and tall. For 3, 2, 1. Drop the balls. Bring the hands down towards the ground. We're nearly there. The shoulders, final one for them. Deep breaths in and out. Keep pulsing, keep holding. That's it. Nice. Good. We're in those final ones. Pushing through that pulse. The shoulders will be sore tomorrow, will be worth it. Keep it going. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. Final few seconds, we're nearly there. We get to take that rest after this. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Good, give me a quick shoulder roll. We're going to be moving in for some chest. Next, bring your feet back into that first position. And we're going to open our hands out to the side, palms facing forward. And we're going to close in and opening out. Squeezing the chest as we come back in. Good, deep breaths in and out. If you have some wrist weights, you can add them onto the wrists, making this a little bit harder. Deep breaths in and out. Keeping up nice and tall and trying to get those hands right into touch and those elbows to touch each time. Deep breaths in and out. So good, nice. Final few for 2 and 1. Dropping it down. Quick roll. And we're going to come back in for that prayer pulse. For the prayer pulse, bring the feet back into that parallel position. Hands in front, close in front of the chest. And we're going to push up and down. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Now small pushes, staying up as tall as you can. Pushing through the chest and pushing through the shoulders. Deep breaths in and out. Good. This one's a burner in those final few seconds. And we're nearly there. For 3, 2, 1. Let's finish off with some triceps. We're going to glue our elbows right into our sides. We're going to push the hips back and we're going to come in for some kickbacks. We're going to push back and in. We're going to focus on squeezing that tricep as we push back each time. Deep breaths in and out. Squeezing, keeping that pace just a few feet in front of our own feet. So good. Deep breaths in and out. Keep it squeezing. We're nearly there. We're in those final few seconds and we're going to come into pulse to finish off the upper body. In 2, 1, we're going to hold pulsing up. Deep breaths in. For 2, 1, relax and come back in. That's it. Good. Deep breaths in and relax. Good. And out. Good. Keeping that pulse, focusing on that tricep and relax. Good. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. We're in those final few. Then we've got that rest. 2 more. We've got 1 and final one for 2. Holding that pulse nice and long for 3, 2 and 1. Good, nice. Our upper body's done, our lower body's done. Let's come down into some core next. For the core, we're going to come down onto the mat. And we've got 2 different modifications. You're going to come down into that bear hold, stacking the shoulders right on the wrists and making that nice box shape. This is our beginner one, and you want to focus on pulling the core in and then letting go. So nice deep breaths in and deep breaths out. If you want to make it that bit harder, you can come up and hover and down, pushing through the core. That's going to be our first exercise. So let's get ourselves ready. Stacking the shoulders over the wrists. We're going to come in for the core breathing or the bear holds. In 2 and 1, we're going to push up and down. Good. If you're doing the breathing, keep focusing on holding the core in nice and tight and then letting go. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. For these bear holds, We want to make sure that we're not swinging our hips and that we're pushing from the core each time as we lift up. Deep breaths in and out. So good. Deep breaths in. We're in those final few seconds for 2 and 1. Nice. Slowly rolling out the wrists, and we're going to come back in for some bird dogs. Coming back in, stocking the shoulders over the wrist. We're going to raise the right hand and the left leg. Then imagine that teacup on the lower back. We're going to raise out and in, gently tapping the hand with that knee and hold. We want to take these nice and slow and don't rush. And the more we rush them, the more the hips will swing and we won't get that full core engagement. So nice and controlled, focusing on the breathing. Deep breaths in and out. Good, we're in those in the final few seconds. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow, coming back into center, switching sides. That left hand will raise and that right leg. We've got 2 and 1. We're raising out and in. Deep breaths in and out. Keep focusing, lengthening that core, working on that stabilization. So, good. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. Keeping the hips nice and steady. Imagine that teacup. Pointing that toe if you can to really lengthen the leg. Good, we're in those in the final few seconds and we've got that rest. 3 more. We've got 1, 2, and a final one for 3. Good, nice. Taking that rest, 1 round done. We've got 2 more on this one. The core, we want to make it nice and strong. So we're going to come in 2 more times. We're going to get ourselves ready to come back in for that breathing for that bear hold next. We're going to come back into that butt shape, making sure the shoulders are stacked over the wrists. And we're going to come back in 2 and 1. We're going to come in for the hold, or we're going to come in for the deep belly breathing, whichever one is best for you. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. Pushing through the core as we lift those knees off the ground, keeping the hips nice and steady. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. You're coming in for those final few seconds. 2 and 1. Pushing back. Quick roll of the wrists. Let them relax before we come back in for those bird dogs. Coming back in. Lifting that right leg and lifting the left hand. In 2 and 1. Pushing out and deep breaths in and out. Keeping the hips nice and steady, nice and controlled. So good. You're struggling to get the hands to meet that knee, coming just in to tap on the mat instead. Deep breaths in and out. So good, perfect. Keeping that control and keep focusing on lengthening the core. Coming in for those final few for 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow back into center. Let's come on to the other side. In 2, 1. We're changing sides. Pushing out and good. Deep breaths in and out. Keeping that control. Good, perfect. We're nearly there. We're in those final few. Then we've got that rest and 1 more final round left. 2 more. We've got 1 and 2. Good, nice. Pushing back, taking that rest, and we've got 1 more final round to go. Rolling out those wrists, giving them a quick stretch if you need to. And then we're going to come back in for those bear holds. Final time. Coming back in and coming into that 4-point hover in 3, 2, 1. And we've got the bear hold pushing up. Deep breath in, deep breath out. If you've done the bear hold the last 2 rounds and you find them too difficult, don't forget you can hold here and do that deep belly breathing instead. So if you find like you want more of that challenge, continue with the bear holds for these final few seconds. Deep breaths in and out. Pushing away with the core. Coming in for 3 more. We've got 1, 2, final 1 for 3. Let's roll it out and prepare to come in for that final one, the bird dog. We're nearly there. Final ones left. Let's get ourselves ready. In 2, 1. We're extending that left hand and that right leg. Deep breaths in and out. Good, nice. Keeping it nice and controlled. Making sure that leg doesn't go up too high. You don't want to bend the back. You want to keep it nice and controlled. Good, we're in those final few seconds, and we're going to be switching sides in 3, 2, and 1. Nice, we're coming in and we're switching. Coming onto that other side, this is our final one. Giving it all you've got, we're nearly there. Deep breaths in and out. So good. Keeping the hips nice and steady. Good. Keep controlling the breathing. Nice and controlled. Keeping the core nice and steady. We're in those final few seconds. We're getting ready to finish it all up. Coming in for 3 more. We've got 1, 2, and our final one for 3. Good, nice guys. That is our warm up done. Let's come in for our cool down. We're going to come in for that child's pose. We're going to extend the arms in front of us, keeping the glutes as close as we can to the heels, and dropping the head right down as much as we can, and reaching forward. Deep breaths in, deep breath out. With each breath, trying to extend the hands up further away. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Good, then nice and slow. We're going to come back up into that kneeling position, coming in for that hip flexor stretch. We're going to bring that right foot in front, squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone under, and we're going to reach your hands up towards the ceiling, stretching it all right out. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Good. Then nice and slow, dropping the hands down, and we're going to switch sides, bringing that other leg in front, squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone under, and reaching up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths in, and deep breaths out. Good, nice and slow, dropping the hands down, and we're slowly going to come up into that standing position, coming in for that quad stretch, bringing that heel right up into the glute, holding onto a chair wall if you need that extra support. Keeping the pelvis tucked under and the knees together. Deep breaths in and out. Nice and slow, dropping down and switching to that other side. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out, pelvis tucked under, staying up nice and tall. Deep breaths in and out. Nice and slow, dropping down. We're going to come up onto the heel of that right foot, pushing the hips back, pointing the toes right up towards the ceiling, stretching out the back of the leg. Deep breaths in and out. Nice and slow, switching sides, coming up onto the heel of the left foot, pointing the left toes up towards the sky and pushing back. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Good, nice and slow, dropping down. We're going to grab the hands just behind the knees, and we're going to arch up that back, stretching it right out. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Nice and slow, let it go. Slowly coming into our final stretch, stretching the hands right out to the side, thumbs up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out, turning the thumbs right down towards the ground. Keep reaching out to either side of the room. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Slowly turning the thumbs back up towards the ceiling. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out, and we're done.
Thank you so much for taking part in today's video, and if you enjoyed it, then please do give us a follow on any of our social channels. So you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on YouTube, or you can follow us on Instagram, where we are constantly uploading loads of useful content to support you on your wellness journey. See you in your next workout.